Started from the bottom, now we here. Started from the bottom, now Mateus here. Started from the bottom, now we here. Mateus here. The Latinos. What up? What up, my guy? Who that is? Who that is with the my guy? Demetrius Ward. It's Demetrius Ward. What up, my guy? What's cracking? Who that is? Prodigy? What's cracking, man? Sure. Yeah, oh, yeah, hey, Prodigy. Broham, I didn't understand what you were saying about the Black Lives Matter. But I'm going to read it again to try to get a better understanding of what you was talking about. Uh, and I think you were talking about my friend that died. But I wanted to say that I don't think he died. I think he was murdered. You know what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure he was. So I just wanted to throw that in there. I think he was taken out. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know if you saw the story that I did on him. I put it on a video. Basically, we used to be poets. We used to go down to the poet spot all the time, and that's how I knew him. And he was a young brother, man. He also had a twin. And thing about him, every time he showed up at the poetry spot, which was every week, saw him all the time, you never knew that he had issues. I said something about Black Lives Matter, remember, on Social Justice Warrior. Yeah. What's good? Yeah. Uh, Masquerade and Black Lives Matter. Yeah, okay. Well, what I'm saying is, my friend that, well, you might not have been talking about my friend that, yeah, something about Black Lives Matter. As a social justice warrior. Well, that's what they are. They're social justice warriors. Uh, I don't usually talk about Black Lives Matter that much. I think you or somebody else asked me a question on what do I think about Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter are, they're not a militant group. I made some videos about them. You know, they're not a militant group. They're just people who want social justice. And if they think they're not getting it, they'll stop traffic. You know what I'm saying? So I think they have the right, just like these tiki torch, carrying, guys up at the university, just like the people who went to, up in Denver and, took over the federal building up there in Denver. They have the right to, protest when there is a large number of black people being slain, you know, every year. It's in the thousands and it just keeps going up, and there's just no excuse for it. And, the police are just walking away like they don't matter. So, yeah, black lives do matter. And, it's a whole race war. And it's just unnecessary slaying of men, women, and children, because children are dying too. And it's just going to escalate. Nobody's de escalating the situation. It's going to escalate to an epic proportion. And when it does escalate, it's going to get dangerous to even walk the streets. It's going to be so bad that they're just going to snatch up, they're going to snatch up any and everybody, And, well, let me walk away here. There's got some kids that, my neighbor's kid. But, yeah, they're just barging into people's house and murdering folk and then saying that they're innocent and they feared for their life when they went to somebody's house and killed them. You know, in front of their children. And it's bad. It's getting worse. They're getting bolder and bolder. And now there's been a recent statement by one of the officers, one of the, I don't know what he was, but he pretty much, was talking about the Louisiana case and said, and this asshole said that even if an officer walks up to you and starts a whole bad, they're saying you can't retaliate against that officer in any shape, form, or fashion. And if that officer shoots and kills you, that officer is in the right. Even if you're just standing there and that officer walks up to you and blows your damn head off in front of your wife and kids, that officer is in the right. That's what they said. Now, when you got that type of situation, you're going to create monsters in the street. You know? You're going to create some monsters when you do that. Because there's some people who are just not going to stand by and watch their family members get murdered in the street and watch an officer go to some phony court system and just walk away and get away with it. Some people are just not going to do that. They're not going to lay down and just let you kill them without something happening. They're human beings. You can't treat them like dogs. You know, they're not slaves. And, it's just going to get worse. You know, we've already seen the National Guard deployed. It's going to happen again. You know what I'm saying? It's going to get bad. And it's not just black people. You know what I'm saying? White folks is getting it too. It's a war. It's an unnecessary war. And this is going to be the breakdown of America. This is how America is going to fall to an outside enemy because they're weakening their ranks on the inside. Same thing that happened to Rome. You know what I'm saying? And when you got such a division with black and white people now, you know, there's such a division now that if we were attacked, you're going to find a lot of people will not help white people. You're going to find a lot of black people will not lift a finger because they let, those court cases, they let those officers walk. And we've seen it year after year, day after day. I'm telling you, America is alienating their number one outlet. Listen, you drop all the bombs and create all the famine you want to. But the simple matter is there are going to be some people left when it all, when it all calms down. And then you have a wide races of people who spawn a lot faster than others. The Hispanics, blacks, they spawn at an alarming rate. Our families are a lot larger than white people's. As a matter of fact, in some European countries, they're paying white couples to have children because their numbers are dropping dramatically. And I mentioned this in a couple of videos before. Even Benjamin Franklin was talking about how the white people are outnumbered. So what happens if Russia and China, and Ahmadinejad, what happens if they attack us? We throw a bunch of large missiles and bombs at them. We blow up half the dang on planet that we actually live on and we don't have nowhere else to go. We get rid of 1/3 of the population. And guess what? Guess who's outnumbered? You. You, white people. You're outnumbered. And people are not going to forget what you've done. I'll never forget it. I'll never forget the stuff that happened to me unnecessarily. You know, I'll never forget it. I'm telling you, it's going to be a time where the numbers matter. You know what I'm saying? Where you're not going to have the upper hand. And it's a doggone shame because it's a beautiful land that God gave us. But some people just continue to be murderous, killing, evil people. So that's what I think about the Black Lives Matter movement. They're not armed, you know? They're just some everyday people who want their children to grow up in a better place. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? They're not militant. You know? You had some militant groups out there, some militant black people out there, angry because of what happened in the 60s and 70s. And they got rid of all of them. They killed off all the leaders, everybody except Jesse Jackson. But Jesse Jackson, he's not really what I would call a leader. He's just somebody that just marched with some of those leaders. But he's not a leader to me. I wouldn't turn to Jesse Jackson for anything. If I had a court case and Jesse Jackson showed up, I'd be like, I really don't want you here. I'm good. Ain't you got some children to go see about? Some new children? You got a couple cases to handle yourself? I'm good, bro. I mean, anyways, so I just wanted to speak on some of that, on because I think you were trying to pick my brain about Black Lives Matter. I think all lives matter. And I think, listen, there's always been white people who hated slavery. Always been. There's always been God-fearing white people who just hated slavery. And one of the bloodiest wars, fought on American soil was because of slavery, was because of economics. That wasn't black people fighting against white people. That was white people fighting against white people over economics of slavery. All right? Let me get that straight. There's always going to be white people who refuse to see color. They refuse to be a part of the system. They refuse to be hate mongers and murderers. You will never get them to absorb the hatred of the people who look like them and turn it on people who don't look like them. Always be some good white folk. Some damn good white folk. You always gonna have some good white folk. I mean some good old regular white folk. You know what I'm saying? They ain't looking for nothing. They ain't got no hidden agenda. They not trying to deceive you. They not out to take something that you got. They have no hidden agenda except just to be some regular white folk. And that's it. With some regular white families. Some white kids. You know what I'm saying? Run around with not a hatred, a piece of hatred in their body. Not one. A little white kid, you ain't got no hatred for black people. Not what don't know nothing about being hateful towards black people. But yet you got people who look like them who will try to convince them that somebody of a darker skin is their enemy. And you got some black people who hate black people. And no matter what you do for them, they will always scheme against you. They will make it their business to hate you. They will do the best they can to crush you. Just because they can. You could give them everything that you have and it will not satiate them. They have evil in their system. You know what I'm saying? But yet, if you take Everything that they have, they'll come and ask you for what you have. You know what I'm saying? If somebody else took away something they had, they'll be crying to you, expecting you to help them. And you got some people who will help them. And as soon as those people get back on their feet, they'll try to run you over again. This is why I have limitations to what I do. You know what I'm saying? I used to work with the homeless, and every now and then I'd let one of them spend the night. I let one dude spend the night. He got upset because I ain't let him come spend the night again. I was like, this is my place. I pay for this. I'll go to work for this. You know what I mean? Drop you off at the nearest bus stop, and you better figure it out. I did you a favor because we had to go to work early in the morning. You know what I mean? So I was like, ain't no sense of you just going way up north and trying to find somewhere to sleep. Just crash at the crib, get up, bust a shower, you know what I'm saying? Here's everything you need. Let's grab some food. Let's go to work. That's what I was all about. Let's get it. Let's go get that money. We got the trip in the next day, one of them stars like, nah, this is my spot. This is my spot. You know what I mean? Trying to hang on too. So you just got some people who just take advantage of you. They're not necessarily evil, but they will take advantage of you. Got some family members who will take advantage of you if you ain't careful. Don't get it twisted. Anyway, how's everybody doing? I got, 2 people on? Yeah, you got some family that'll get you. They'll get you right now. This is why if you got yourself an extra piece of pizza, you better hide it. You better hide that slice for later, because it's gonna be gone. And they'll eat it right in front of you. And dare you to say something. All right, you got an extra bologna sandwich, you better hide it up under your mattress. you better take that bologna and hide it. And save that bologna for later. Because you think the mice got it. Oh, somebody in your family got that bologna. They'll get it again. They come to the same place looking for it. They'll take your money right now. Take all of your money. Right now. Thinking that they your brother and sister. Shoot. You gotta be careful. But you got to still love people. You can't just be walking around not loving nobody. You got to love some people who can't stand you. That's what you're here for. You just can't love the people who love you. You ain't doing nothing extra. Ain't nothing special about you if you just love folk who love you. There is not one thing special about that. Everybody do that. That's easy. You gotta love somebody who don't like you. And go out of your way to love them. It ain't easy. Because they gonna spit on you. They gonna spit on your efforts. They gonna call you names. They gonna talk about your mama. When you talk about my mama, they gonna talk about your mama. To your face. Like it ain't nothing. They're gonna talk about you. Alright. I'm just saying, broski. I'm just saying. But you gotta love them. Gotta give them a little bit of love. Gotta cook them dinner every now and then. Just take it to them. Got extra $20 sitting around the house. You just go give it to somebody. Just walk up to them and be, hey, here. Because I know you need it, but you ain't going to ask for it. Because you got a heart of stone. But the Lord done blessed me with a little bit of extra on my tax money. The Lord done hit me with the, help me out with the I-9. Because the Lord will do that. He'll hook you up with the I-9 every now and then. Lord hit me up with the I-9. I done got an extra $20 and just go give it to somebody who just don't like you. With a smile, not some here. Here. Calling them all kind of names. You ain't. Just give it to them. Tell them that God loves them, and so do you. Like, look, there you go. God loves you. Take the money and go buy them. Like, go to the grocery store and get just a bunch of basic, some bunch of basic stuff. Maybe some bunch of basic food stuff. I mean, stuff that you can't get out the pantry. Because you can go to the pantry and get busy. All right? Don't act like I won't run up in your pantry. I'll run all the way up in your pantry. And your thrift store. You better stop. I'll run up in your thrift store right now today. Okay? And your pantry. But there's some things that ain't at the thrift store and the pantry. Well, you might want to go and take a little $20 and just buy somebody something nice that don't like you. As soon as they get it, they're going to still not like you. But that wasn't the point. The point is not to get them to like you. I mean, that's not the point, to get them to like you. The point is for God to love you. Woo! That's the point. Look. I want God to notice me. I want to be heard when I pray. I want to be protected when I leave the house. I want God to look at me and forgive me for some of the stuff I done did and will do. I want God to help me out of some bad situations. I want God to help my family out. I don't want to just be another person just walking around on this, this earth. I want God to notice me. And if you want God to notice you, answer some of your prayers, you know what I'm saying? Get the landlord off your back. Because the landlord will be on your back. Get that government cheese off you. That government cheese be on you, boy. You want God to get the government cheese off you. You know what I'm saying? Like the Lord just did that for me. He got that government cheese right off me. In a huge way. I wouldn't even known about it till I started talking about my situation to somebody else. And he just started hooking me up with all kind of information, and I reacted. I didn't just take it and zoom. I was just like, really, word? I went home and started looking stuff up and started writing letters. Shoot. Got out of paying every student loan that I had. I do not have to pay. From 20 years ago. I don't have to pay. Not 1 cent. Now I gotta live like a hermit crab, but for a while, but nonetheless, that's the government cheese. That's a blessing. I just don't have to worry about it. You know what I'm saying? I already live like a hermit crab. But I stay in a nice place. I mean, I got a nice spot. I ain't broke. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I ain't gonna go out and buy another car anytime soon, but you know what I'm saying? My truck doing all right. That's my truck right there. He got a little dirt on him, but he got a little dirt on him. I might just get up and wash it tomorrow. I mean, some of my neighbors be trying to outshine me. They be trying to outshine me. I be like, you trying to. I done gum and cheese right there. But you gotta love somebody if you want God's attention. Ooh, Lord have mercy. Now, I ain't saying go to somebody who's trying to punch you in the face or beat you up. God is not trying to send you into the midst of those people without you being spiritually prepared. Now, God will send you into the midst where people are going to do you physical harm. Do not think He won't, because He will. None of the disciples died of old age. None of them. They were all murdered. There's a book called The Last Book of Martyrs. I read it when I was 18. And I was brokenhearted. It just hurt to read how they were all slaughtered. All of them. And they all gave themselves to the slaughter willingly. And you ain't no different. You're not better than the disciples. And the disciples had power that none of us have. The disciples could have called down, fire. Easily. God gave them that power. None of us are better than them. None of us. Love somebody that hates you.